Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel. APWSPORTS signing in, and I apologize for the lateness of this video. There's been some things that have come up in my life that really adjusted my recording and uploading schedule, but I am working an effort to still give you guys the power ranking video. It's just for the next couple of weeks. The video will be dropped a little bit later on Tuesday nights, but I will still give you guys the content that you crave and the content that you deserve. We are heading into week 14, and it is crazy to say that the season is so close to being over with. Well, good from my standpoint because I'm a Bears fan and I can't wait to end my misery, but it is time to give the power rankings for each team heading into week 14 of this NFL season. But before I give my rankings, make sure you guys leave this video a like as it continues, and it helps this channel to grow and it beats the YouTube algorithm. And if you are one of the people that are not subscribed to my channel but watch the videos, do me a favor and click the subscribe button, and also click the notification bell so you will not miss any of the content that I post. But it's time to rank these teams. Without further ado, let's dive into it. All right, first we have the Arizona Cardinals, who are coming off of a bye week. I'm going to put this team in a D. I've said it so many times this season. I've never been confident in the Arizona Cardinals, and at this point, that still remains absolutely true. Next, we're going to go to the Atlanta Falcons. They are coming off of a loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers, which dropped them to 5-8 on the year, and in the bad division, they're still in it. But I'm going to put the Atlanta Falcons at a C. Next is the Baltimore Ravens, and the injury to Lamar Jackson is going to be a big one. We're waiting to see how this thing goes playing forward, but I'm going to put the Baltimore Ravens at an A tier. I still believe in them defensively, but we're going to have to wait and see what the Lamar Jackson injury does and how significant is it for them, not just this week, but the rest of the year. Next, the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to put the Buffalo Bills at an S tier. I still believe they're one of the best teams in football, one of the more complete teams in football. But the Von Miller injury can hurt, but I think that's more of rest for later on when the playoff run begins. So I'm going to put the Buffalo Bills in S. Carolina Panthers also coming off of a bye week. I'm also going to put them at the D tier. This team is just not very good, and they just have so many problems, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Bears, my Bears, D. This team can't hold leads. Defensively, they played a lot better than what I expected to, but just offensively, it was just something about that game that was different. They didn't use Justin Fields as much, and I'm not going to talk about them much more. I'm going to leave my reaction in the cards. But Cincinnati Bengals coming off of a big win against the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to put them at the A tier. This Bengals team is starting to get hot late in the year, just like they got hot late last year. It's starting to become the same way. Jamar Chase coming back off of injury really helps this football team. P. Ryan had a very solid day rushing, and that defensive secondary caused some havoc for Patrick Mahomes. Next is the Cleveland Browns. They are coming off of crazy game against the Houston Texans, which I think, even though they won that game, it was not the greatest of games. So I'm going to put the Cleveland Browns at a C right now. Next is the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to put the Cowboys at the S tier. They just absolutely demolished the Indianapolis Colts. And speaking of the Colts now, they're going to be at a D. This team just looked bad. Matt Ryan looks like a shell of himself. That defense just looks like it's just dropped a significant level. Offensively, they just cannot sustain the drive, and it just seems like Jonathan Taylor hasn't been the same back. I know there have been some offensive line woes, but this Cowboys team made them look so bad. So bad. Next, the Denver Broncos. I mean, this team is just, it's a head scratcher. This team was just projected to be so much better, and they just haven't put it together. A lot of it is Russell Wilson. A lot of it is some coaching decisions. Defensively, they've been holding them in some ball games. Just offensively, they just cannot put it all together. Detroit Lions. I'm going to put the Detroit Lions at a C tier, coming off of that big win over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Offensively, they look really, really good and really explosive. Jared Goff had a really significant game. Defensively, they look good against them, even though that's been their kind of woe all year. But they look good against Jacksonville. Green Bay, they beat my Chicago Bears. I'm going to put Green Bay at, you know what, I'm going to put them at the B tier for now. I think offensively, they're starting to find some rhythm. They're starting to click a little bit. Defensively has been a little bit of their problem, especially their run defense, and it showed a bit against the Bears. Pass defense has been okay. It's been solid. Jay Alexander, he got torched twice. I don't know why he's doing all that talking, but offensively, it looks like they're starting to pull a little bit of it together, even though Aaron Rodgers has been struggling with injuries. Starting to get a little get together. And Christian Watson, ooh, that guy is special. Texans, I mean, they are the worst team of football. Just put it like that. They are the worst. And the Jaguars, I'm going to put right there with them. It's crazy how all of the NFC South teams right now are at a D tier. It's just not a very good division at all. It's not a very good division at all. Next is the Kansas City Chiefs. Ooh, I'm still going to put them at the S. Despite the loss to the Cincinnati Bengals, this team is still a very good football team. It's not a bad thing that they lost to the Bengals. The Bengals are hot. Bengals are still a very good team in their own right. So I'm going to put the Chiefs still at an S. The Bengals loss doesn't hurt as much because the Bengals are a very good team. But for now, I'm still going to have them at the S. Next is the LA Chargers. This one's a struggle, but C tier for me. C tier for me. It's just, I think the injuries are a little bit too much to overcome at this point for this football team on both sides of the football. But I just think when healthy, this team could have been and would have been a lot better. It's just so many injuries to overcome. Allen, Williams, Rashawn Slater, Bosa, J.C. Jackson. There's a lot of key guys that have been injured for this football team. Next is the Rams. I really want to drop this team to a D. But I don't think it's going to be, I think it's too many teams at the D tier. I'm not a big believer in this Rams offense without Cooper Kupp and without Stafford for the rest of the year. They just signed Baker Mayfield, which I don't think is going to really help them too much this year, to be honest. It's not going to save their season. This team, defensively, has been holding them. Offensively, they just cannot do some of the same things that we're accustomed to seeing from this Rams football team. Next is the Las Vegas Raiders coming off of a win against the Chargers. I think this offense is starting to get clicking a little bit at the right time. It may be a little bit too little too late, especially with the AFC being so competitive. I just think it's a little bit too late, but they're starting to get on the uptick. And defensively, they look better. The pass rush has been getting home. And I just think that this football team is clicking, but like I said, I think it's a little bit too late. Next is the Miami Dolphins. They're coming off of a loss to the San Francisco 49ers. I'm going to drop them a little bit to an A. This is the first loss that they had with Tua Tagovailoa starting and finishing the game. But offensively, they're still clicking. Defensively, they were a little bit of a question, especially against the San Francisco team without a guy like Jimmy G. So I'm going to put them at the A tier for the moment. Next is the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to put them at the S. I still am a big believer in this offense. Defensively, Harrison Smith and those guys has been playing some really good football. Offensively, Justin Jefferson has been clicking with Kirk Cousins in the running game with Cook and Madison has been a game changer for him. Next is the New England Patriots. I still believe this is an average football team at best. They're playing their way a little bit out of the playoff race with the last two losses to the Minnesota Vikings and also this past week against a team like the Buffalo Bills. So I'm going to put the Patriots at the B tier. I just don't think this team is going to make the playoffs. It's just an average football team in my opinion. Next is the Saints. I'm going to leave them at a C. To let them, the Bucks come back on them like that when it looks like the Saints defensively was just going to really hold this Bucks offense. It's just offensively, I think for the Saints, it's time for a new quarterback. Andy Dalton didn't play bad, but I just think it's time for this team to get a new quarterback at this point. Next is the Giants, Washington for a tie, Both of them, B. B. Even though they keep themselves alive in that NFC playoff race, I don't like ties. I hate that the rules are set where you can tie. I just wish they had some rules where you can play and then something will happen which we don't have a tie football game. Maybe like the college rules or something. I hate ties. I absolutely hate ties. Next is the New York Jets. This team struggled a bit against Minnesota. Gonna put them in a B. I'm still a big fan of what they can do defensively. Offensively, Mike White is starting to look like the quarterback for him. Zach Wilson has not really progressed like we thought, and I also thought that he could be the quarterback in that class that could fail. Starting to look like it. Starting to look like it. Philadelphia Eagles S tier. This team is just absolutely explosive. Defensively, offensively, they are the most complete team in football. And Jalen Hurts has played himself into possible MVP status. Possibly MVP. He's been in the conversation all season. He might have just took that #1 spot. Pittsburgh Steelers C tier, coming off of a much-needed win against the Atlanta Falcons to almost try to keep themselves alive in a playoff race and to try to keep Mike Tomlin's under 500 season streak alive. Much-needed win against the Falcons. Seattle, I'm going to put them at the B tier. I do like what they're getting in the running game. We're going to see what the Kenneth Walker injury is going to get them. Geno Smith has been playing like a Pro Bowl type of quarterback. Lockett and a guy like DK Metcalf has been playing well. And that defense has been playing a lot better than what I would have thought coming into this year, and without Jamal Adams. So I'm going to put them at a B. Next, the San Francisco 49ers. I'm going to put them in the A tier, but with a little bit of reference, especially with the quarterback position being with the way it is. Trey Lance is out and Jimmy G is possibly out for the year. I am going to put the San Francisco team at an A tier. I love what they can do. It's going to be seeing what quarterback play they can get, but that defense is absolutely lethal and it's special. A tier. Buccaneers, much needed win to keep themselves up. I'm going to put the Bucs at a B tier. It's taking too many of those Tom Brady games to keep this season alive. It's too many of those Tom Brady comeback games. For a team that is as talented as this team is, they cannot run the football at all. The offensive line has been hurt. Defensively, they've been hurt. They've been plagued by a lot of injuries. But I still think this is a very talented football team, and they can scare some people. It's just the injury bug. Next is the Tennessee Titans. I'm going to put them at a B tier. They are in a division that is not very good in that AFC South. And it's just fired their GM, and they lack at the wide receiver position. They lack at the wide receiver position, and the trade of A.J. Brown proved to be a mistake. And I think that's part of the reason why they cost GM John Robinson his job. But hey, these are my rankings for this week. Make sure you guys leave this video a like as always and continue to help this channel to grow. Comment you guys' thoughts down below. I would love to see what you guys think. And as always, click the sub button, notification bell, so you not miss any other videos. But I am APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys stay safe. Have a great next day, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.